Hello there, my name's Tyler Schrock, and I'm going to be talking about the backhand drive and some common tips that can help people break through their plateaus as they're learning to throw a good, solid, straight backhand as far and as accurate as they possibly can. So what we want to start off with, if you're really trying to work on your backhand form, the best thing you can do is start from a standstill. Okay? From a standstill throw, we all know new players that start off with a backhand. They grab the disc however they want, they reach back, and then they fling the disc very much up in the air. This often results in a flight of the disc that flies very high and crashes to the left, not yielding much distance. So the first tip I can give you is, as you're starting off with your backhand, focus on keeping the disc flat and incorporating spin as it flies forward. Okay? Eventually, though, we want to get past that point. We want to start incorporating some reach back into our throw. So a good reach back in disc golf is going to mean that we're going to push the disc behind our body, so directly the opposite of the way we intend to throw, and we're going to begin generating force to bring it forward. Okay? So we're going to avoid any type of curling or reaching out any direction other than straight back from our intended line of throw. Okay? So additionally, what we can start thinking about is our nose angle. So we want the disc to fly perfectly flat, to be as aerodynamic as possible, and to fly with spin. So in order to do that, I believe that grip is very important here. So I use a power grip on most of my throws, meaning these four fingers are engaged on the bottom part. Additionally, my thumb is clamped down on top. This disc does not move in my hand. This power grip is very beneficial for imparting as much clean spin as we can on the disc. No wobble, nice and flat as it goes through our throw. So if we're looking to build our standstill throw, I start with the power grip, and I'm going to shift my weight back onto my back foot and then begin to bring it forward into my front foot as I throw. So a good standstill will have a weight shift back and a weight shift forward as we throw. That type of throw for most players can go well beyond 200 feet, for some even close to 300 feet. But if we're looking to get farther than that, what we can start beginning to do is incorporating some more power and some more major muscle groups into our body. The first thing I'll focus on is improving our reach back. So rather than just pushing back on the same line as our throw, we have the ability to rotate some major muscle groups in our body. The first thing that you can begin rotating is your shoulders. So what your shoulders allow you to do is, rather than reaching back across your body here and bringing only your arm forward, you can begin to activate your shoulders and generate much more power. This also helps illustrate, I'm going to rotate here, this nice pull line here through our body that can be very direct, that helps us propel the disc forward. So you can keep your wrist very, very strong and pull it along this line as your shoulders reach back and explode forward through the throw. Okay? So as you get more comfortable, you can also begin thinking about your feet and your legs here. We're going to talk about the X step here in a moment, but I find it also important before you implement an X step is to really focus on your weight shift here. So I do that with a simple rocking motion. Okay? So we're going to work on bringing our shoulders back through and then shifting our weight forward as we're ripping the disc through this line. Okay? Here's where you're really going to start to get power and can break that 300-foot mark. When you start to activate these more major muscle groups with your shoulders and begin to incorporate your legs as well. Okay, so often those steps can get you out in the 300-foot range. So next we're going to talk about two very important things: timing and the X step. Let's start with the X step. So what the X step enables us to do is to get a pattern and a habit built from the ground up. So with our footing, we start with a right foot forward, a left foot that crosses behind, and then a right foot that finishes forward as the throw finishes off. Okay? So once again, it is right, left, right, and also I'll include some upper body motion with this as well. Our right step begins our momentum. Our left foot coincides with our full reach back here, and then our right foot coming forward means that all of our weight shifts forward into our throw. This enables us once again to be generating power towards our target. We want to eliminate any motion that takes any power away from our target there. Another thing to talk about with this is your timing. So you want to slowly build up your X step. Your X step is there to build momentum in your throw. Your X step should start slow, but then finish very fast. As this foot is hitting the ground, your arm should be exploding forward through that motion. Another thing that's important here is that you keep your wrist loaded throughout your throw until it reaches the very front. So our arm is going to be coming forward, and then it's going to explode at that last moment. And you're going to get power from your loaded wrist that explodes into your throw forward. So this can get quite a few players into this 350-foot range here, just with a simple X step and with an explosive last part of your throw. This incorporates much more of your upper body and some of your lower body into the throw. All right, so if you're able to incorporate a good X step, you're starting to use some of your major muscle groups here. The last part here is putting everything together. This comes with some extensive practice in making sure that every part of your throw is coming in time and that you're starting to activate even more major muscle groups. It takes an explosive player to get past 350 feet. Many players don't throw beyond 350 feet. Okay? So the keys that I've found to help me get past 350 feet have been to slowly incorporate more speed and explosiveness late in the throw. Okay? For me, this means adding even more pressure on my grip. So I'm really clamping down on a power grip in order for the disc to hold its line. Additionally, experimenting with different nose angles, with different hyzers and hyzers, sometimes leaving the disc nose up, and even playing things like the wind. Right now I'm playing into a little bit of a headwind with my throw. Other tips that can help get you out to 400 feet is experimenting with your reach back. So many players default to a reach back that's comfortable to them, and they leave some power on the table. There is more to be gained. So you can begin rotating not just your shoulders, but also your hips, generating some power from even more major muscle groups in your body. Not just your feet and your shoulders, but incorporating your core and your hips. So with all of these things firing together, you're able to get out the most distance possible. It takes time in the field, and it takes getting comfortable with your disc in your unique throws to get confident out past 350 feet and beyond. So for me, what's important here with throwing my max distance is to get my timing with my X step, but also begin throwing in my hips as I'm throwing through my shoulders as well. Getting this timing correct takes practice. All right, so that's all I've got. If you have any more questions or any other tips that have helped you gain more distance, drop them in the comments down below. Thanks a lot for watching. Give a like, give a share. Thanks a lot. We'll see you.